Hi, my name is Erika Jelinek. I'm an upper and middle school librarian at Viewpoint School in Calabasas, California. And I chose The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman because it's my favorite book in the entire world. And it is such a work of unbridled imagination that I just wanted to share a little bit of it. So I'm going to read the passage where our main character, Lyra, first meets Yorick Byrnison, who is my favorite character. After darkness had fallen, and when the stores and equipment had all been safely unloaded and stood waiting on the quay, Farder Coram and Lyra walked along the waterfront and looked for Anderson's bar. They found it easily enough, a crude concrete shed with a red neon sign flashing irregularly over the door and the sound of loud voices through the condensation-frosted windows. A pitted alley beside it led to a sheet metal gate into a rear yard, where a lean-to shed stood crazily over a floor of frozen mud. Dim yellow light through the rear window of the bar showed a vast pale form crouching upright and gnawing at a haunch of meat which it held in both hands. Lyra had an impression of blood-stained muzzle and face, small malevolent black eyes, and an immensity of dark, dirty, matted yellowish fur. As it gnawed, hideous growling, crunching, sucking noises came from it. Farder Coram stood by the gate and called, "Yorick Byrnison!" The bear stopped eating. As far as they could tell, he was looking at them directly, but it was impossible to read any expression on his face. "Yorick Byrnison," said Farder Coram again. "May I speak to you?" Lyra's heart was thumping hard because something in the bear's presence made her feel close to coldness, danger, brutal power, but a power controlled by intelligence, and not a human intelligence, but nothing like a human, because of course bears had no demons. This strange, hulking presence gnawing its meat was like nothing she had ever imagined, and she felt a profound admiration and pity for the lonely creature. He dropped the reindeer leg in the dirt and slumped on all fours to the gate. Then he reared up massively, 10 feet or more high, as if to show how mighty he was, to remind them how useless the gate would be as a barrier, and he spoke to them from that height.
"Well, who are you?"
His voice was so deep it seemed to shake the earth. The rank smell that came from his body was almost overpowering. "I'm Farder Coram, from the Egyptian people of Eastern Anglia, and this little girl is Lyra Balakwa.
What do you want?"
We want to offer you employment, Yorick Byrnison."
"I am employed."
The bear dropped on all fours again. It was very hard to detect any expressive tones in his voice, whether of irony or anger, because it was so deep and flat. "What do you do at the sledge depot?" Farder Coram asked.
"I mend broken machinery and articles of iron. I lift heavy objects."
"What kind of work is that for a Panzerbjorn?"
"Paid work."
Behind the bear, the door of the bar opened a little way and a man put down a large earthenware jar before looking up to peer at them. "Who's that?" he said.
"Strangers,"
said the bear. The bartender looked as if he was going to ask something more, but the bear lurched toward him suddenly and the man shut the door in alarm. The bear hooked a claw through the handle of the jar and lifted it to his mouth. Lyra could smell the tang of the raw spirits that splashed out. After swallowing several times, the bear put the jar down and turned back to gnaw his haunch of meat, heedless of Farder Coram and Lyra, it seemed. But then he spoke again.
"What work are you offering?"
"Fighting, in all probability," said Farder Coram. "We're moving north until we find a place where they've taken children captive. When we find it, we'll have to fight to get the children free, and then we'll bring them back."
"And what will you pay?"
"I don't know what to offer you, Yorick Byrnison. If gold is desirable to you, we have gold."
"No good."
"What do they pay you at the sledge depot?"
"My keep here in meat and spirits."
Silence from the bear, and then he dropped the ragged bone and lifted the jar to his muzzle again, drinking the powerful spirits like water. "Forgive me for asking, Yorick Byrnison," said Farder Coram, "but you could live a free, proud life on the ice hunting seals and walruses, or you could go to war and win great prizes. What ties you to Trollisund and Anderson's bar?" Lyra felt her skin shiver all over. She would have thought a question like that, which was almost an insult, would enrage the great creature beyond reason, and she wondered at Farder Corum's courage in asking it. Yorick Byrnison put down his jar and came close to the gate to peer at the old man's face. Farder Corum didn't flinch.
I know the people you are seeking, the child cutters, the bear said. They left town the day before yesterday to go north with more children. No one will tell you about them. They pretend not to see because the child cutters bring money and business. Now, I don't like the child cutters, so I shall answer you politely. I stay here and drink spirits because the men here took my armor away, and without that, I can hunt seals, but I can't go to war, and I am an armored bear. War is the sea I swim in and the air I breathe. The men of this town gave me spirits and let me drink till I was asleep, and then they took my armor away from me. If I know where they keep it, I would tear down the town to get it back. If you want my service, the price is this. Get me back my armor. Do that, and I shall serve you in the campaign, either until I am dead or until you have a victory. The price is my armor. I want it back, and then I shall never need spirits again.
Yes.